I think that it's really cool that we live in a society nowadays, or at a time period in this society, that anyone on the spectrum or in a traditional, maybe heterosexual role can find understanding and acceptance. And I think that's really big.
Marriage changed the minute that the government decided to mess around with it. And so that's when it switched from a purely religious institution to a political institution. And as a political institution, it can change, it can vary just like any other political institutions that have been established. And that's when really religion lost its hands on the meaning of marriage.
As soon as you start dealing with telling other people how to feel, that's dangerous to me. I just think you get into really dangerous waters. And with something that's so emotionally provocative as love, I just think that's it's a touchy subject.
I mean, I don't support gay marriage. I'm not going to sit out and protest they should have their rights, but I'm definitely not going to say, oh, you're gay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk to you.
Same-sex marriage is awesome. Of course I'm going to think it's good. I want to have one. And it doesn't personally affect anybody else. Like, it's me and who I love and nobody else's business. Like, then I know that marriage is more about personal feelings and a commitment to somebody than it is about society and about what somebody else wants me to do. And it'll have more meaning to me.
I personally believe that there are many things that are really important to society. And personally, I want my children to learn about the traditional family, about a man and a woman.
Men and women together, working together, is really important because we both have different attributes and characteristics of being a female or a male. But I'll probably stick to the traditional marriage style. I feel like that's how it's supposed to be.
When I got married, I expected that my marriage would be different than my parents' was. And now I'm divorced and I still have nothing figured out. All I know in the future is that I don't want to repeat what I did. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, I'm queer and I'm attracted to women, and there's a real possibility that I might marry someone who's not a man. In that case, everything I learned growing up, it doesn't apply. There are no social rules that tell me how to behave in a same-sex relationship. And that's been really scary and complicated recently.
I got nothing against it. I mean, that's, if you believe someone is born gay instead of, one day deciding that I'm going to be gay, that's some serious hardwiring you have to change in their brain to tell them, actually, you have to marry and like a girl. It gets kind of tricky. I mean, if they're happy, I guess that's kind of our end goal here, is to be happy.
Personally, I agree with some of my gay friends is that marriage should be between a man and a woman, and that when maybe a homosexual couple or an asexual couple or just different spectrum people decide to become a unit, they just call it something else. But I realize that I'm definitely the minority in that assumption.
I think so long as we've made marriage a matter of joining people together who love each other, I think that's where it ends. It's where people's opinions end. You get to choose who you marry, and you get to choose how long you stay married and what your marriage is like, but other people's marriages are none of your business.
Well, I think everyone should be treated the same under the law. So when we are using the law to discriminate against a specific section of the population, I think that should change.
I do fundamentally believe that there is something about men and women that is complementary. I have a hard time pinning down what that is, though. Nevertheless, I still, at my core, feel like there is something about men and women that is supposed to be together. And so in that same core spot, I kind of feel like if that union is called into question, that might not be good news.